Coming up on 5 Minute News. Trump's criminal trial will begin next March when campaign is in full swing. Kari Lake's final claim of election fraud dismissed by judge. And gay rights group issues Florida travel advisory as governor announces presidential run. It's Wednesday, May 24. I'm Anthony Davis. Donald Trump threw up his hands in frustration on Tuesday as a judge scheduled his criminal trial for March 25th next year, putting the disgraced former president and current candidate in a Manhattan courtroom in the heat of next year's presidential primary season. Trump, appearing by video conference at a pre-trial hearing in the hush money case, glowered at the camera as the judge advised him to cancel all other obligations for the duration of the trial, which could last for several weeks. Trump pleaded not guilty last month to 34 felony counts of falsifying business records related to hush money payments made during the 2016 campaign to bury allegations that he had extramarital sexual encounters. He has denied wrongdoing. The judge said he arrived at the March 25th trial date after discussions with Trump's lawyers and prosecutors. Trump's case is proceeding in state court, even as his lawyers seek to have it moved to federal court because some of the alleged conduct occurred while he was president. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office has until next week to file paperwork stating why it should remain in state court where the historic indictment was brought. Trump has made the New York case and the long list of other investigations into his personal, professional, and presidential conduct central to his campaign to reclaim the White House in 2024 and fundraise off the back of it. The Republican has portrayed himself as the victim of a coordinated, politically motivated effort to sully his chances, despite evidence to the contrary. A judge on Monday dismissed the only remaining legal claim in Republican Kari Lake's challenge of her loss in last year's race for Arizona governor, affirming the election of Democrat Katie Hobbs. Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Peter A. Thompson said Lake failed to prove her claim that Maricopa County did not verify signatures on mail ballots as required by law. Lake was among the most vocal of last year's Republican candidates, promoting former President Donald Trump's election lies, which she made the centerpiece of her campaign. She has built a small but loyal following among Trump supporters and is openly considering a run for the U.S. Senate seat, now held by Kyrsten Sinema, an independent and former Democrat. Lake is often mentioned as a potential vice presidential pick for Trump. While most other election deniers around the country conceded after losing their races in November, Lake did not. She has touted her legal battle in fundraising appeals and speeches around the country. Lake's signature verification claim was the subject of a 3-day trial. Her lawyers argued that there was evidence that lower-level screeners who found inconsistencies in signatures ran them up the chain of command where they were neglected by higher-level verifiers. She did not contest whether voters' signatures on ballot envelopes matched those in their voting records. In mid-February, the Arizona Court of Appeals rejected Lake's assertions, concluding she presented no evidence that voters whose ballots were unreadable by tabulators at polling places were unable to vote. The following month, the state Supreme Court declined to hear nearly all of Lake's appeal, saying there was no evidence to support her claim that more than 35,000 ballots were added to vote totals. Earlier this month, the court sanctioned Lake's lawyers $2,000 for making false statements when saying that more than 35,000 ballots had been improperly added to the total count. Kari Lake joins the disgraced former president in undermining U.S. democracy with frivolous accusations of election fraud. The largest LGBTQ rights organization in the U.S. joined other civil rights organizations yesterday in issuing a travel advisory for Florida, warning that newly passed laws and policies may pose risks to minorities, immigrants, and gay travelers. The Human Rights Campaign joined the NAACP, the League of United Latin American Citizens, the Florida Immigrant Coalition, and Equality Florida in issuing travel or relocation warnings for the Sunshine State, one of the most popular states for tourists to visit in the U.S. While the LGBTQ advocacy group said it wasn't calling for a boycott or making a blanket recommendation against visiting Florida, it said it wanted to highlight new laws passed by the Republican-controlled Florida legislature that they said are hostile to the LGBTQ community, restrict abortion access, and allow Floridians to carry concealed weapons without a permit. Meanwhile, Target, which rolled out its Pride collection at the start of May, is pulling some products from its stores after facing customer backlash, saying it was acting to protect employee safety. Target is offering more than 2,000 products, including clothing, books, music, and home furnishings, as part of its Pride collection. Target has been celebrating Pride Month for more than a decade, but this year's collection has led to an increase in confrontations between customers and employees and incidents of Pride merchandise being thrown on the floor. This comes as anti-gay, far-right Florida Governor Ron DeSantis plans to launch his 2024 presidential campaign today in an online conversation with Twitter CEO Elon Musk. You can subscribe to the 5-Minute News Patreon for bonus videos, commentary, and more. Go to patreon.com/5-Minute News.